Two of the biggest stars in ROH history one-on-one for the first time on broadcast television. What will happen in Davey Richards' first match? Since losing the world title to Kevin Steen, will the emotions that have to be percolating through Davey Richards take their toll? A die-hard challenge match where Eddie Edwards is challenging and trying to defeat a series of former world champions, trying to get big wins to stay in the title picture the old-fashioned way by earning it. Edwards. Davey Richards has zeroed in, and it's a different American Wolf here this week on ROH. Oh!
Into the armbar, that's fantastic. Ankle lock!
Ankle lock applied from Davey Richards. Wait a minute, that's Jimmy Jacobs is down there at ringside now. Where did he come from? Give me a break. Jacobs tries to knock Richards right off. Missile drop kick. Roll up, two. Got it!
And Edwards missed it as well. He had no idea. Jacobs came out.
After the match last week, I went back, I watched the replay. I saw how Jimmy Jacobs got involved, and I believe that he did enough to change the outcome of the match. So what I'm doing, I'm going to decline to accept the victory. I asked the officials, put in the record books, no contest.
Duburns Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome to Ring of Honor Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kelly alongside Nigel Mcguinness, and we just saw an incredible display of sportsmanship from Eddie Edwards. More on that later. Nigel, what about our main event?
Tommaso Ciampa challenges Roderick Strong for the World Television title in a match that we understand Roderick Strong didn't want at all.
Well, speaking of not wanting something, the presence of Brutal Bob Evans with his prodigy and the lovely Maria.
She is lovely. And on the 6th day, God created Maria.
Yeah, keep an eye on Brutal Bob Evans, who continues to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. Sooner or later, that nose is going to get punched off. My goodness. A lot of assets backing the prodigy.
This match is set for one fall. In the ring, be accompanied by his trainer, Brutal Bob Evans, and the First Lady of ROH, Maria Kanellis, wrestling out of South Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 222 pounds, the prodigy, Mcguinness.
Thank you, Bobby Cruz, whose sound is symbiotic here in Ring of Honor with the action. And you know, Mike Bennett coming off a loss to Lance Storm in Toronto. They are now 1-1. Rumblings of a rubber match that Bennett's demanded may take place right here on TV. Right now, the prodigy takes on a young man making his ROH television debut. That's Adam Page.
His opponent, wrestling out of Astor's Creek, Virginia, weighing 207 pounds, Adam Page.
Just 20 years old. a tobacco farmer. His family's farmed tobacco for generations, but he's already graduated with a film degree from Virginia Tech University. Let's go to the tail of the tape, where you can see both men are the same height. Bennett has the age, weight, and experience, and it's a long way from Boston to Aaron's Creek, Virginia for sure. So tonight, television title on the line. We understand Roderick Strong did not want the match. We'll talk more about that later on. Eschewing the tail of tape in typical Prodigy fashion, Nigel.
Yeah, that was hardly a code of honor, was it?
So the code of honor, treated as all things Prodigy does. Doesn't take anything seriously, takes a lot of things for granted. I know, there's a lot of talk about why the Prodigy isn't in the world title conversation, but he could very well be. Misses with the clothesline. A lot of people say that maybe it's because Bennett has Hollywood aspirations, and maybe Ring of Honor doesn't want to fully invest in the Prodigy. Who knows?
It's an interesting point.
So Adam Page, who opened up eyes of Ring of Honor as a virtual unknown when he came to a tryout camp late last year, is finally getting his opportunity. Can he make the most of it and pull off what would be a Herculean upset? Slip slide away goes Page, catches him coming in with the arm drag. Boy, growing up in the Mid-Atlantic area, he knows how succinct an arm drag can be. Great drop kick cover.
Yeah, shades of Ricky Steamboat there.
So we'll talk quickly about Roderick Strong. Television title match that Strong didn't want. He's been complaining all day because he quote-unquote understood that he didn't have to defend the title against Tommaso Ciampa before the triple threat match at Best in the World. We are trying to find out more about this situation. Rumors of collusion continue to swirl as Page gets the boot up. Bennett followed in.
Doing very well for himself here.
Oh, wait a minute now. Maria inching up on the apron, caught the eye of Page, and oh no. Tied to the tree of woe. His knee hyperextended, Nigel. It could rip all the ligaments.
Ever so dangerous there when you, a number of times that American Dragon did that to me. Really popped out one of those cruciate ligaments in the knee. And if Bennett's smart, he's going to keep that leg in there.
Well, far from a sportsman.
That's my question.
Prodigy Mike Bennett. Of course, very sportsmanlike was Eddie Edwards, who has declined to accept the victory that he got last week over Davey Richards due to the involvement of Jimmy Jacobs. That Eddie didn't know took place as Page gets run right into the barricade. That is real sportsmanship. And Eddie continues his Die Hard Challenge series against former world champions. This time it's Homicide at Best in the World. 2, but Page kicks out. Homicide returning to his yard to make an impact, he says. And we'll see what happens on June 24th.
Now Bennett's having the advantage here. We saw Maria almost get involved. She tried to interject, and it was certainly enough to give Bennett the advantage. I wonder now that Bennett's got that advantage, will Maria, will Bob stay on the outside? Do you think they're going to try and interfere again? I don't know.
Well, you can see Page. His punches might be lacking a little starch right now. Cover 2, but he kicks out. Going to have to try to get the second win. Second win, first time under the bright lights of television. Man, that can be unnerving for a young man who certainly has a bright future in Adam Page.
Certainly is. Fatigue as well as nerves playing a big factor in this match already.
You hear the crowd. I think they know he can wrestle. He certainly did against Lance Storm. He and the Canadian legend are 1-1 in their series. Ooh. Page charges in, runs into the boot now. Bennett flies, but gets caught in midair.
And Bob screaming on the outside now. Certainly got an axe to grind. I don't think anybody can deny that. Maybe he wasn't loved as a kid. Someone told me his birth certificate was an apology letter from a condom factory.
Mike Bennett misses with the clothesline. Page knocks him down with one of his own.
There we go. Kid's really proving something to me here, Kev.
From Aaron's Creek, Virginia, he's fighting with all he's got now. Leg lariat knocks down the Prodigy. Cover 2. But now can Adam Page find a way to put him away? Can he score victory? What would be the biggest upset, I think, in Ring of Honor history?
Looks almost complacent, almost as though he never figured he'd be in this position in the match. But he is, and he better do something about it.
Spears him right in the center. 1, 2, no! having some debate with Paul Turner, but indeed you could see Page's shoulders broke contact with the mat before Turner's hand came down for 3. Goes for the TKO. Page, another roll up. Now turns and rotates, drive Page, face first down with the TKO.
Gotta be it.
2, 3.
And it is.
The winner of the match, the Prodigy, Mcguinness.
Well, he's the winner of the match, but you have to say Page showed us something here today. 3, 4, 5 near falls on Bennett. That showed something to me.
Yeah, you got to watch.
Showing something to me. Right there.
Now we'll take another look at the replay. Eventually, Bennett was able to get Page up on the shoulders and score with the TKO. If Bennett and Lance Storm meet for a 3rd time, will it be the final time? I would love to find out. Now wait a minute now, what is this? What is Brutal Bob doing, Nigel?
We talked about how he was bitter before, trying to prove something, and there's no need for this.
Oh, what a slug.
Listen, you know, you had your opportunity to be a wrestler. It didn't work out for you. Listen, from somebody who, you know, was almost in the same sort of place, you got to step away. Come on.
Wait a minute now. Look at this. Wide open. Hold on. Maria going for the slap, and look out, it's Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards down here, giving it to both Brutal Bob and the Prodigy.
There you go, Eddie.
Bennett getting out of dodge. He's heading for higher ground. Eddie Edwards standing up for what's right.
Bennett got something to say about this.
What is this now?
Hey! Hey, idiot! Who the hell do you think you are? Sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Eddie, face it. Eddie, face it. You're only out here because you couldn't beat me. You can't beat any former champion. Hell, you can't even beat Brutal Bob. Hey. I have an idea. Next week on TV, I'm going to be here. Brutal Bob's going to be here. Why don't you take Brutal Bob one-on-one?
Wait a second.
Did I just hear that correctly?
Mike, did you really just challenge me to wrestle Brutal Bob? You hear them? You know, I have to say, I agree with everybody here. Next week, you get Bob out of his nursing home. Feed him all of his pills. Have a nice early dinner. You come here next week, and I will gladly beat his ass, Die Hard style.
We have got a match for next week, and fans, we've got an update on Steen versus Richards in New York right after this. Welcome back to Ring of Honor Wrestling. Nigel, another controversy has come about concerning the situation with Davey Richards and Kevin Steen as we head to Best in the World in New York on June 24th.
It certainly has. Package pile driver. Will it be allowed in the match or not?
Well, there are questions about whether or not the package pile driver will be legal.
There's nothing sadder
what the hell is
than
this?
A company that doesn't take care of their world champion. Believe me, I should know. It's a gosh darn shame that Jim Cornette seems to ignore your world champion, Kevin Steen's requests. You see, Jimmy, the championship is over Kevin Steen's shoulders. And you, Jim, are in our front pocket. So you need to take a second to listen to what your world champion has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Corino. Jim, Steve is 100% correct. Although, I guess you have been listening a little bit because I've been asking to fight Davey Richards on TV for a while now. And on the next Ring of Honor TV, it's going to be my handsome self and Jimmy Jacobs against Kyle O'Reilly and Davey Richards. Now, if you think that that's going to somehow soften me up for New York City, well, just like in a lot of aspects of your life, you are wrong. But what Steve was referring to earlier when saying that you need to listen to your world champion is referring to this. You see, I am still waiting on an answer regarding the package pile driver being legal in New York City. But now that I've been waiting, I'm a little upset. I'll do you one better. Davey said, I heard him say this, that I believe the quote was, bring your pile driver, bring your boys, bring anything you want to New York City. Didn't he say that? I think he did. I remember it. Well, I want to bring anything I want. Because for the last 6 months, Jim Cornette, you've put me in street fights, no DQs, all kinds of dangerous matches, hoping somebody would take me out for good. And every single time, and both you guys can attest, I came out on top. I walked out of the building. So here's what I'm thinking. Anything I want anything goes. One fall to a finish. No DQ for the Ring of Honor World title in New York City.
Wow.
Wow. Well, that's big.
And Jim, once I take Davey out for good, you are going to realize that this isn't about who's the best in the world. This is a hostage crisis, pal.
So Kevin Steen has now asked for the match at Best in the World against Davey Richards to be one fall to a finish. Anything goes, no disqualification. I'm waiting. Will Jim Cornette acquiesce? Will he give Kevin Steen what he wants? Will the package pile driver be legal? My goodness, there is a lot that Jim Cornette has to consider as we get closer to June 24th. The Briscoe brothers are in action right after this. Stay with us.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Welcome back to Ring of Honor Wrestling. Our first look at Dim Boys from Sandy Fort after that shocking, controversial, disgusting loss in Toronto that cost them the World Tag Team title, Nigel.
Absolutely, and as we've said, Charlie Haas, he's having a giraffe. Fight without honor is one thing, but literally asphyxiating Mark Briscoe with ether, that's another.
Let's go to Bobby Cruz.
This tag team match is set for one fall. In the ring, wrestling out of Sandy Fort, Delaware, at a combined weight of 463 pounds, Jay and Mark, the Briscoes.
We'll see if there are any lingering issues with Mark Briscoe as a result of that ether-like substance that was used by Charlie Haas. And
that stuff will burn your lungs, Kevin, without a doubt. We could smell it down at ringside.
Yeah, fans at ringside smelled it. Here's our first look at Off the Wall, Sam Shaw and QT Marshall. That's Marshall in the foreground. Two big, rough athletes. Boy, they impressed ROH officials in recent training camps, but they get a baptism of fire here against the Briscoes.
And in Mark and Jay's current frame of mind, they better be ready for anything.
their opponents at a combined weight of 449 pounds, the team of Sam, Shaw, and QT Marshall.
So it's the Briscoes back in action against Sam Shaw and QT Marshall, and let's go to the tail of the tape. All four men between 26 and 28. Shaw and Marshall have the size advantage here. The vast experience edge goes to them boys. Will there be adherence to the code of honor? Referee Brian Gorey's asking for it.
Well, look at the thickness on the neck of QT there. Sam Shaw as well. All comes from head bridges. That's training to be a proper professional wrestler. Because it's that neck that protects your brain. Every time you get knocked down, the brain rattles around inside, and it's those neck muscles that keep it safe inside your cranium.
All right, so Mark Briscoe, who was choked out there by Charlie Haas in Toronto, starts off against QT Marshall. Marshall backs him in. Oh, and look who's decided to join us here this week.
Oh, boy.
Truth Martini is here. Truth, I've got a lot of questions for you as Mark Briscoe drives his head into QT Marshall. So here's the question that I have. What's the story with the TV title match tonight? Did you really have a deal in place when you spent 70 grand on Rhino's contract that Roddy wouldn't have to wrestle against Ciampa?
That is none of your...
So I got something there, right? I got something. I'm onto something. I know I am. You can sidestep all you want. I guess you say the truth are more important than the facts. Is that true?
That is exactly true. But I'm here for a different reason right now. Kevin Kelly, you know me very well. I'm a man that does not like to be ignored. I've already issued a challenge to the Briscoe brothers, and I still have not heard back. If they're scared, I wish they would just say they're scared. But I refuse to be ignored.
Oh, this challenge that you put out, a senton there off the second rope, has Mark Briscoe knocking Sam Shaw down off the apron. QT Marshall's been absorbing a great deal of punishment. A couple weeks ago, you're out here talking about, wait a minute now, referee in position, your guardians of truth, two unknown, two unnamed competitors.
I will not reveal who this team is. If I say those names, everybody would run scared of their lives right out of this building. But I demand an answer.
All right, so the question is what? You want the Briscoes to take on your guardians of truth?
That is exactly correct. Best in the world is right around the corner, and I still haven't received an answer yet. I've made phone calls. I've sent out emails.
Well,
and still nothing.
Just a week away. Now Marshall with the knockdown and getting the near fall on Jay Briscoe.
That's a glancing blow to the back of Briscoe's head there. Just enough to knock him off his feet, though.
And you know the Briscoes, of course, not able to go after Haas and Benjamin anymore for the tag team titles. Their fight without honor match in Toronto was their last opportunity. And off the wall, Sam Shaw is put together. Great athlete. Will it translate here to the squared circle in Ring of Honor? So far, so good.
Now, why would the Briscoes need to know who my team is anyways? Aren't they men? You hear this crowd man up? Why won't they just man up and accept the challenge?
Maybe they ignore your calls because they have common sense.
Maybe you never called them at all, Truth, and this is all charade.
I have the phone records. I called them. The Book of Truth says when a man doesn't accept another man's challenge, that is like a slap in the face. And nobody, I mean nobody slaps Truth Martini in the face.
We've seen some great teamwork so far here from Shaw and Marshall, who are carrying the fight to the Briscoes as we're just a week away from Best in the World.
Absolutely, a couple of
Gonna drop the elbow.
men there.
Oh, gonna drop the elbow for the third time. No dice there. Steps right on the face of Jay Briscoe, very cocky. But now that allows Jay to get back on his feet.
Big mistake. I mean, these are tough rulers in the ring here, but you've got to keep it to the Briscoes. Otherwise, they're not going to give you a second to breathe.
So Shaw knocked down. Jay rat-a-tat-tat with some punches. Marshall misses with the clothesline, and Jay dives across. Here comes Mark Briscoe. Third-degree black belt in redneck kung fu. Shaw there to cut him off, though. Reversal, Shaw off the ropes, knocked down. Corner to corner. Uncle Mule kick there from Crazy Mark Briscoe. them boys from Sandy Fork, Delaware, are letting it go here in Ring of Honor. And I think they learned this from Big Man, Papa Briscoe, chokeslam. Oh. Froggy Bow from the top. Oh, but look out, Marshall in to break it up.
Now, the more I watch these Briscoe brothers, the more my blood is fuming. Mark my words, I'm going to get my answer tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, good. You can ask questions later. You also got Roderick Strong defending the television title against Tommaso Ciampa. Rumors of collusion between you and the embassy. Doomsday device.
Briscoe brothers, I hate you.
The winners of the match, the Briscoes!
All right, wait a minute now. Truth Martini, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Cut that music! Briscoe brothers, up here! I refuse to be ignored. The challenge has already been made. Best in the world is right around the corner. The Briscoe brothers versus my Guardians of Truth. Will you or will you not accept the challenge? Are you two men or are you what you farm? A bunch of chickens.
Oh, hell no. Truth Martini, if you want us to accept your little challenge in New York City, we don't give a damn who you bring out there. Bring their ass to New York and we gonna whoop their ass. Challenge accepted.
Well, there you have it.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Truth Martini got what he wanted. The Briscoes accept the challenge and the match is made. The Briscoes against these unknown, unnamed Guardians of Truth. Right now, let's go to Veda Scott in the locker room.
I'm here with Prince Nana and R.D. Evans of the Embassy Limited. And gentlemen, tonight Tommaso Ciampa gets his opportunity against Roderick Strong for the TV title, but there's some question as to whether or not you're in favor of this.
We advised Mr. Ciampa to pursue another course than the TV title, but he's got a very, shall we say, rigid philosophy as to what he wants.
But is there cooperation between you and Truth Martini?
The fact of the matter is that baseless rumors. My very busy client has other places to be.
Kevin Steen is holding Ring of Honor hostage, but an American Wolf has a plan for the ransom demands. We'll hear about that and more tonight inside Ring of Honor. Best in the World 2012 Hostage Crisis takes place Sunday, June 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern at the Manhattan Center's Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. If you can't be there live, you can see it live as it happens on ROHWrestling.com. Log on now for all the details. For the World Tag Team Championship, Rhett Titus and Kenny King, the All Night Express, get their long-awaited shot at the gold when they challenged Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. The match got a lot more personal after last week's events.
These are the guys who everyone says should be champion. According to who? What have they done? Who've they beaten? They've always wanted to be what wrestling's greatest tag team is.
The All Night Express deserved our title shot. We earned it at the Proving Ground over 6 months ago, and we never got it. We're going to turn your old ass into old news.
1, 2, and 3.
You two are looking at the next Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
Well, I guess they're going to have to take the All Night Express more seriously now. They proved something to me and everybody else here in Ring of Honor.
Also on June 24th, you'll see a die-hard challenge match. Eddie Edwards versus former ROH World Champion Homicide. In a hybrid fighting rules match, Adam Cole faces Kyle O'Reilly. It will be Unbreakable Michael Elgin going one-on-one against the Belfast Bruiser Fit Finlay.
Got a lot of rumors about this guy, Mike Elgin. Unstoppable, unbeatable, unbreakable, whatever you say you are. Let me tell you something. Here's what all stops. It stops when Fit Finlay gets in your face. And we're going to find out who you are and what you're made of.
Also at Best in the World, we just learned the Briscoe brothers will face Truth Martini's new tag team. We don't know their identities. he has referred to them only as the Guardians of Truth. The Prodigy Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis will be in New York for a live Prodigy service announcement. And in a triple threat match for the World Television Championship, it's Roderick Strong defending against Jay Lethal and Tommaso Ciampa.
Come on now, this is ridiculous. Everybody's talking about conspiracy theory to this with Nana and Truth with the managers. You mean you can't look at Nana and Truth and tell that these guys are crooked? Are you guys serious? Am I crazy? Well, I tell you what, at Best in the World, I'm not going to be crazy because I'm not worried about managers. I'm worried about Roderick Strong and Tommaso Ciampa. And you know, these two guys, they don't like me very much, but they don't like each other either. And I'm going to use that to my advantage and become the new television champion at Best in the World.
And of course, the main event of Hostage Crisis, the rematch. Davey Richards' last chance at the world title as he challenges new champion Kevin Steen. Next week here on television, on the eve of Best in the World, Richards teams with Kyle O'Reilly to face Steen and Jimmy Jacobs in a tag team matchup. Team Ambition has a plan.
You know, a lot of people are probably thinking about redemption right now. Dave Richards has a lot to redeem himself for after losing the belt in Toronto. You see, I'm thinking about revenge. See, Kevin Steen, you beat me. I'm not going to whine about it. But I want revenge. You see, I want you to feel the exact same way I felt when you lose everything. Now you. Yeah, you. You need to think about redemption. To all those people that believed in you, man, me being one of them, because you become a whiner, Kyle. Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. All you do is whine about this over and over again. So I'll tell you what, this stops now, okay? Whining stops. Talking stops. We act. We get in the ring with Kevin Steen and Jimmy Jacobs. We make them pay with action. You with me? Yeah. Let's do this.
That match plus the final word on Best in the World. Next week here on Ring of Honor Television as we go inside Ring of Honor.
Every pride has one. Ring of Honor has Tommaso Ciampa.
Did you see that?
Sick kick! Sick kick! And a Steen sick kick!
Truth, what is
Back
this crap?
on Ring of
What
Honor
is this
Wrestling.
bull- I was told I didn't have to wrestle him at all. And now, Tommaso Ciampa got put into the three-way, and then tonight, one-on-one?
Right, not in public.
Not
Roderick.
in public. You told me this was taken care of. And now look at the situation I'm in. You don't think I had enough to handle with Jay Lethal? And now, Tommaso Ciampa, you see how crazy he is? One second.
Roderick, come here. The X-Fay is in. Vader Scott, it's going to be a tremendous wrestling contest. We'll be looking forward to it. Come on, Rod.
Comments from Roderick Strong and Truth Martini about tonight's contest. Nigel, did I just hear him say the X-Fay is in?
Well, it certainly seems there's some cooperation going on among these managers that their clients are certainly not aware of in Strong's case, and I think definitely in Ciampa's case. I sometimes wonder if Nana and Evans make more money now if Ciampa wins or loses.
So many questions swirling around. And a young man there, Tommaso Ciampa, who doesn't seem like he's ready to answer any of. We're going to continue to examine all of these turns as this one goes along. And here comes the champion, and it's plain that he didn't want or think that he had to wrestle Ciampa either in the triple threat at Best in the World or in a singles match here on TV. Why did he think that?
Yeah.
Ciampa has been demanding lethal since Toronto, but also began demanding a title shot, and it seemed the embassy was trying to prevent the latter. But nonetheless, Nonetheless, Ring of Honor officials got it signed, and the television title is on the line here this week. We are a week away from Best in the World, the event of the summer, and right now let's go to Bobby Cruz for the introductions.
This is your television main event. It is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, and it is for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Introducing first to my left, the challenger. He's accompanied by Prince Nana, Barrister R.D. Evans, and Princess Mia. Wrestling out of Palermo, Sicily, weighing 223 pounds, he is representing the Embassy Limited, the dominant male, Tommaso Ciampa. His opponent to my right is accompanied by Truth Martini. Wrestling out of Tampa, Florida, weighing even 200 pounds, he is representing the House of Truth, and he's the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Roderick Strong.
Ciampa almost uncontrollable on the side there. Clearly irritated.
Let's go to the tail of the tape for this television title match. And as you can see, Ciampa with a size advantage over Strong. And with Ciampa's recent aggressiveness, Roddy could be in for a long night here. Don't expect the Code of Honor.
Wish I could hear what he was saying.
Oh, well, look at this, Nigel. Now, you see the managers recognizing the Code of Honor.
I think that you look in the dictionary, that's the picture of collusion.
Very, very strange situation. So Todd Sinclair is the referee for our championship contest as we are 8 days away and counting from Best in the World. It's next weekend in New York City. Who's going to walk into New York the television champion? Because it's a triple threat match. Ciampa, Strong, and Jay Lethal in New York.
Ciampa clearly the aggressor early in this one, taking it to Strong.
Have you ever seen an athlete take a loss as hard as Ciampa did?
Absolutely not.
His undefeated streak came to an end at Border Wars in Toronto, courtesy of Jay Lethal, over a year in length.
You have something I want.
And
you think I was playing games?
It started in March at the 10th anniversary when Ciampa couldn't beat Lethal for the TV title. And from there, subsequent theft of the belt, my goodness. And the way that Ciampa gave the belt back, assisting Roderick Strong, maybe not his intention, but certainly the result, assisting Roderick Strong in becoming the champion.
It'll be interesting to see how both men approach this match. How will Davey approach it? How will Ciampa approach it too? Because you've got to think, another loss so soon after his past loss, his first loss, could really have a very, very dangerous effect on Ciampa.
Certainly could, and big up and down suplex there from Roderick Strong, who despite being somewhat aggravated and perturbed by having to defend the title here, certainly has been on quite a roll as of late. Second Triple Crown winner in Ring of Honor history. It's an opportunity at the world title coming up in Pittsburgh in a couple of weeks. An event where we will also honor the living legend Bruno Sammartino. And he looks to walk into New York City and Best in the World, still the TV champ. But Ciampa looks to do something about it. Going after the leg of Strong there. Tied in the rope, Nigel, and left himself open for the clothesline.
Smart move. We saw it a couple of weeks ago with Mondo, the way he tied a guy's hand up in the buckle and also under the ring apron. You take certain parts of a wrestler away, he can't defend himself. It's smart wrestling in my book.
Fans, I'm being told that we have to take one more commercial break. Strong is in some jeopardy. The match for the television title will continue in 2 minutes. Strong pounding away on Ciampa. We're back on Ring of Honor Wrestling. The world television title's on the line. Tommaso Ciampa, the dominant male, challenging Roderick Strong. from the seated position. Ciampa scored with the dropkick and almost gets the win. It has been some very tense moments for both champion and challenger throughout our commercial break, Nigel. Each man with an opportunity for victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Ciampa maintained, trying to keep the aggression, being methodical in his attacks here. We're seeing a different Ciampa. You wonder whether he's going to try and go for a ground and pound victory again or go back to his knees, very dangerous knees, or even Project Ciampa. Already you're starting to see what a dangerous man he is because there's so many ways he can beat you.
And there's been some question about Ciampa's grip on reality in the wake of his first loss, but he has shown significant focus here in this championship contest. And fans, we want to make you aware, next week, right here on television, on the eve of Best in the World, it'll be Kevin Steen and the Zombie Princess Jimmy Jacobs in tag team action against Davey Richards and Kyle O'Reilly. That's next week, right here on television. And at the behest of the champion Steen, we've been told that we will be joined on color commentary by none other than Steve Corino. So we have that to look forward to all week. Now, look at Ciampa, Nigel.
Well, we mentioned the knees earlier. This could be very dangerous if Roddy doesn't get his arm up. Could have been the end of it.
Yeah, Strong out of the way in just the nick of time. Despite the fact that Truth Martini of the House of Truth and all of Embassy Limited down here at ringside, they have been non-factors out on the floor.
Thus far.
Thus far is the key phrase, as now Roderick Strong throwing some chops, hard knife-edge chops to the chest of Ciampa, and he's got the challenger backpedaled and staggered.
Now I'm trying to look out on the floor here. The manager's on the outside. How are they watching this one? Oh, beautiful drop kick.
Ciampa swings and misses. Roddy, the atomic drop. Watch him go. Connects with the elbow smash. Right across the top strand. Will this do it? Sinclair is right there. Todd Sinclair scores 2. Roderick Strong almost got the win.
Nana on the outside, furious at this point. Obnoxious.
Hear a little bit of, hear this, some of that chatter? There's a little bit of chatter between Nana and Truth. Strong now, buries the knee. Cover 2.
Artie Evans out there. Oh, that's a beautiful goal.
Oh, Princess Mia is lovely indeed.
But they look worried.
Princess Mia for a long time was just simply the object, the play toy of Prince Nana, but when the barrister came in and changed to Project, or rather, Embassy Limited, wait a minute, going for the stronghold.
Trying to get him over. Look at those strong kicks to get out of it.
Yeah, everything changed with Embassy Limited. It became all business, and now they have Ciampa on a great winning streak. Can he become the television champ? Thrust to the throat from Ciampa. Hard strikes from Roddy before that. Look at this now.
He got most of it, not all of it, but it...
2! Well, that's a great point, Nigel.
It's not enough. Kryptonite crunch, I've heard it called in the past.
Yeah, and certainly when you can have that, both the leg and head trapped in a cradle and drive your opponent down, it can be devastating. Ciampa was unable to use that move 100% to its most effective.
Brings up the package pile driver, a very similar move, but there's no way you can protect yourself, and arguably that's why it is so dangerous.
Absolutely. Jim Cornette with a lot on his mind. Which way is Strong going to go? Face first, down, 2. Now, Roddy comes out of it, but look at the power of Ciampa.
Wow, into the bridge.
2.
True wrestler there, just kept hold after the electric chair and followed it up with a very low, very deep German suplex and a bridge. Jumping knee, we normally see Ciampa hit those.
It was Strong that scored, and now, wait a minute, look at this now, the barrister's up. Watch out, Nana's coming in to get Roddy from behind.
Oh!
Down goes Nana. The barrister in deep confab with Todd Sinclair. Project Ciampa! We got a new champion! What? Turn around. Sinclair, what?
What is he doing? What is Nana
Oh,
doing?
you idiot! You just cost your man the television title! A disqualification!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, as a result of a disqualification, and still Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Roderick Strong!
Well, Truth on the outside didn't do a thing. Just stood there and watched.
What in the world is going on here with this? Is there collusion between Embassy Limited and the House of Truth? Did Nana just screw up royally? Or was this part of the plan? What in the... Well, either way, Tommaso Ciampa has got to be livid. There is a lot of tension within Embassy Limited. Tommaso Ciampa starting to ask a lot of questions.
Nana cannot be that stupid. He had to do that on purpose, surely. Trouble in Ghana and trouble at the Duburns arena here.
Next week, it's Eddie Edwards against Brutal Bob. And Richards and O'Reilly versus Kevin Steen and Jacobs on the eve of Best in the World. We will see you then.